There we go. Here we go. Welcome everybody to another edition of the ISBC Truth.
The light ain't on.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
The ISBC Truth channel. Bible study class right here on Illuminati Radio with your host, Pastor Michael Smith, and co-host, Sister Smith. If you are new to this page, hit that follow button. Turn on your notification bells. Hit that follow button if you're new to this page. Hit that like button as well. Let's go ahead and pray it. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. All right, everybody, mute your phones. And what was going on with the kid? Yeah, everybody mute your phones. Oh, who?
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, everybody mute your phones. All right. So, yeah, Sister Big, can you mute everybody's phone? Thank you. All right. All right. So what was going on with Canada, New York, D.C., Baltimore? It even went all the way down to Georgia. Was that really caused from wildfire? Was it? Let's see, because we got to know when, we have to know when is the visitation of the Lord. How do you know if the Lord visited the earth if you don't know what to look for to know when the Lord is visiting the earth? I gave an example. The Haitians that's over there in Haiti, and that magnitude earthquake that hit Haiti, that was part of the Lord visiting the Most High God, the highest, visiting the earth. You know, those Haitians over there in Haiti is still in full-fledged wickedness and voodoo. They still messing with that. They've been messing with it from before, and they messing with it now. And see, there's only so long that you can dabble in your sin before you are visited. It's only so long. It's only so long you can get away with your wickedness before you are visited. It's only so long. So, on this episode 926. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 926. Oh, 927. Episode 927, we are just going to go over what signs to look for to know the Lord is there. Yeah, that's what we're going to go into. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Go ahead, Sister Smith.
Okay. We're going into the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6.
Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. The book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. See, when you see things like this, you know what I'm saying? A wildfire up in Canada, and the smoke reached as far as Florida. The smoke reached as far as Georgia. That's a long way to travel. That ain't never been heard of before. It ain't never been heard of that this happened before on earth. I mean, California go through it all day. Or every summer California go through it. But it was never heard of that Canada have wildfires. And not only do Canada have wildfires, but the smoke reaches as far as Florida and Georgia. I mean, that's the bottom of the map. So it went from the top to the bottom. It went from the top to the bottom. Really? And it just happened just like that. And now, today and tomorrow, they talk about, oh, it's just clear. It's clearing up now. It's clearing up now. But is the fire still going? Is the fire still going, people? Because if the fire is still going, how is it clearing up? Pay attention. And all of a sudden they talking about, oh, you got to stay in the house. This can cause respiratory illness. If you are elderly, or if you suffer from asthma or some type of other respiratory disease, you know what I'm saying? You need to stay in the house or put on a mask. This is the same thing that they were telling you with the CCC. You know what? The same thing. The same thing. Listen, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. We are not ignorant. You cannot pull the wool over our eyes. You can pull the wool over the world's eyes, but you cannot pull the wool over our eyes. All of a sudden, it just started, then it just ended it. So they just turn the light switch on, and then they turn it off as they please. And we ain't supposed to notice nothing wrong with that. Like I told you on yesterday's show, you know what I'm saying? Remember napalm. Remember napalm. Remember that is a military act. Remember that. Now, how much of an effect, because they said it's little tiny particles from this smoke that can get into you, and they can get into your respiratory system. They said little tiny particles. That's what they said. This is what they said. So the same way it'll be long-term effects from the train derailment in Ohio, how much of a long-term effect that is going to cause, the people are going to suffer long-term from this. This is like chemtrails part 2.0. That's what this is. Chemtrails 2.0 that came from Canada down to the bottom of the map. How many people are going to suffer long-time illnesses from this? Anyway, but these are the plagues. These are the plagues. Let's go ahead and hear this.
Okay. Again, this is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. The book of Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. Go ahead.
Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts.
Thou shalt, hear that? The Lord of hosts, that's the Most High. Higher. This is how the Most High moves. When the Most High moves, you better move. Thou shalt be visited of the Most High God of hosts. Go ahead.
With thunder.
Ooh. So you thought that when you hear thunder, you just thought it was the weather. Thunder. That's a sign of the Most High God's visitation. Did you know that? Did you know every time it thunders, that was a sign of the Most High's visitation? Did you know that? What else?
And with earthquake.
With earthquakes. Uh-oh. With earth, that is another sign of the Most High's visitation.
And great noise with storm and tempest.
Great noise with storm and tempest. All of this is signs of the Most High's visitation. Go ahead.
And the flame of devouring fire.
Ooh, that last one is the key point here. What was we experiencing up in Canada? a devouring fire. That devouring fire was so devouring that it affected from the top of the map to the bottom of the map. It affected almost all of the East Coast. That's a devouring fire. These are the signs of the visitation of the Most High. Read that devouring fire again. Read that verse again.
And with storm and tempest.
The storm and tempest.
And the flame of devouring fire.
And the flame of devouring fire. So when you see these raging fires, when you see these raging, you know what I'm saying, forest fires and wildfires, just know that this is the time of the Lord's visitation. Yeah, the Lord may use your enemy to do these things the same way the Lord used our enemy to put us on those slave ships. You see? The Lord used our enemy to cause us to be punished here in America. So the same way, yes, the Lord can use our enemy. The Lord can use Bill Gates to orchestrate a you-know-what to plague the whole earth. The Lord can use that. The Lord uses these people. You see? These are the time of the Lord's visitation. The same way when the Lord visited who? Egypt. The Lord visited Egypt with what? Frogs. Water turned into blood. You know what I'm saying? The Lord visited Egypt with what? You know what I'm saying? A destroyer who slaughtered the firstborn throughout Egypt. That's the Lord's visitation. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going into the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1 through 5.
2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1 through 5. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1 through 5. Go ahead.
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently.
Hear that? Hear that? He answered and said, measure the time. This is the time, people. We are in the time where the Lord is making his visitation. We are in them times. And let me tell you something. See, we are looking, the Christian church will have you looking for, you know what I'm saying, some flamboyant, you know what I'm saying, pale face, you know what I'm saying, Rodrigo Sergio Borgia to come and rescue you all. That's false. You know what I'm saying? That's false. Because of the visitation of the Lord is darkness and not light. When that smoke blanketed New York, was it darkness or light? When that smoke blanketed most of all of the East Coast, was it darkness or light? You better pay attention, people. Matter of fact, Sister Smith, put your marker there for a minute and go to Amos chapter 5, and I believe it's verse 18. Amos chapter 5, verse 18.
Amos
chapter 5, verse 18. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Verse 18. Okay.
Go ahead.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Hear that? Woe means destruction. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Go ahead, read some more.
To what end is it for you?
See, to what end is it for you? Now read that next verse.
The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Hear that? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for visitations of the Most High, you know you shouldn't be looking for no blessing. You know what I'm saying? You should not be looking for a new house or a new car. You know what I'm saying? What you should be looking for is what you see. What you should be looking for is what you're seeing. A fire in Canada and the smoke blanketed almost the whole East Coast. That's what you should be looking for. But is anybody else telling you this? Is your pastor telling? Your pastors couldn't tell you anything on what was going on with the smoke on the East Coast. They couldn't tell, oh, it's a wildfire in Canada. Yeah, we know the wildfire in Canada. But do you tell the people what time we're living in? We're living in the time of the day of the Lord's visitation. Go back to 2nd Ezra, Sister Smith.
Okay. Okay. There's the 2nd Ezra 9, verse 1 through 5. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Measure thou the time diligently in itself. Go ahead.
And when thou seest part of the sign pass, which I have told thee before. Verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
And what time is that, people? What time is that? He said, measure the time diligently, and when you see part of it come to pass. Part of what? Go to the book of Matthew chapter 24, Sister Smith. Because what did he talk about? Part of what come to pass? Part of what come to pass? He said, just know it's your Matthew chapter 24. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start at, I guess, verse 7. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, when you see part of it, just know is the time of the highest to come visit the earth. So what is that part that's coming to pass? That part that's got to come to pass?
Okay.
Go ahead.
For nations shall rise against nation.
Go ahead.
And kingdoms against kingdoms.
This is it. This is it. You seeing this coming to pass now. Keep going.
And there shall be famine.
See that?
And pestilence.
Yeah, see that? Pestilences is diseases. Pestilences is something that you went through when you suffered that C-19 thing. That's pestilences. Swine flu and such things like that. All of that's pestilences. Ebola or whatever you call it. All that's pestilences. These are the things that when you see part of it coming to pass, and do we not see it come to pass?
Yes.
This is the time of the visitation. Go ahead. What did Christ say? What did the disciples say in the beginning? What is the signs of thy coming and the end of the world? And this is what Christ said. Go ahead.
And earthquakes.
Earthquakes. In diverse places.
In diverse places. Keep going.
Keep going.
Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrow.
Hear that? All of these are the beginning of sorrow. See, let me tell you something. Did the thing that you're seeing coming to pass now, this is not a time for you to be happy-go-lucky in some damn strip club or in some damn club talking about, I'm going to buy me a bottle. No, you should be getting close to the Most High. Because it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. Because when these days come to pass, just like they was telling you about, you know what I'm saying, when that darkness blanketed the whole East Coast, and they was telling you that it caused respiratory symptoms and these little particles from the smoke can get into you, and how many people are going to be affected? How many people are going to wind up sick
We sing some today.
Yeah, exactly. How many people are going to wind up sick weeks after this with lung problems, kidney problems? You know what I'm saying? How many people are going to wind up sick? Because what they're telling you is, did they put something in the smoke? Did they put the little particles there? See, and the only way that you are going to be protected from these plagues that is blanketing the earth today due to the judgments of the Lord, the only way you're going to be protected from this is if, when you hear this truth, keep these commandments. Walk according to the Most High so that he can put that angel around you and you can be protected in the day of Jacob's trouble, in these days. It's a shame. And I bet you people are just walking around, oh, it's going to be over pretty soon. We get the barbecue. It's summertime. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, going back again to the book of 2nd Esdras. Verse 2.
2nd Esdras, 2nd Esdras
chapter 9.
Chapter 9, verse 2.
Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Hear that? It is that very same time. And we are living in that time. So don't take, when you see these things coming to pass, when you see these things happening, don't think that it's just something, just something that's caused by accident. Just don't think that it's an accident. And Sister Big Brim, please mute everybody's phone. Don't think that it's an accident, because it's not. Everything is done. Everything is in its proper order and it's happening in its proper time. Go ahead.
Therefore, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes.
Oh, here it goes again.
Here
it goes again. There shall be seen earthquakes and uproars
of the people in the world.
Of the people in the world. Is it not uproars all across the world? Everybody against everybody. You know what I'm saying? The Afghanistan. Is that sister? See if that.
What?
See if that sister might be Sister Big Brim calling.
She called the other phone.
Oh, okay.
But I'll call. She don't call this phone.
Okay, don't answer that then.
See, I told you.
Okay, don't answer that. Oh. Okay, so go ahead and read that again.
Read verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Uproars of the people. You got Afghanistan. You got the Ukraine. Everybody is now being bussed and shuttled and airlifted over to America to be one big melting pot to be destroyed. Uproars in the people. Now you got, you know what I'm saying, so-called Trump getting indicted in Georgia. And, you know what I'm saying, uproars at the time of the election. All of these are uproars of the people. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the day that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Hear that? Hear that? This is all the Most High's doing. Yeah, and I say the Most High used our enemy to do it as well. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
And the end is manifest. The beginning and the end. This is the end. And this is the manifestation of the end. The things that you are seeing. Don't take them lightly. Just understand that these are the different plagues. The same way the Lord used the elements of the world, of the land, the elements of the earth to actually destroy Egypt. Yeah, the Lord used the elements of the land of the earth to destroy Egypt. Frogs, that's an element of the earth, ain't it? Lice, the water turning to blood. All of these are elements of the earth to destroy Egypt. The Lord used the elements of the earth to destroy Noah's day. You see? The Lord used the elements of the earth to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, which is fire. You see? And the Lord is using the elements of the earth to destroy all of the wicked. Go ahead.
Okay. We're still in the book of 2nd Esdras. We're going to chapter 16, verse 14.
Amen. 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 14.
Behold, the plagues are sent.
Here it goes. Here it goes. The plagues are sent. Go ahead.
And shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
Until they come upon the earth. Let me tell you something. The Lord uses your enemy to do these things. And guess what? Your enemies is taking a body count. A body count. The same way they kept a body count throughout the 2020, you know what? They kept a body count. Okay, we got this many people, that many people, we need this many people more. They kept a body count. They still got that body count going. These days are the days that you need to have more security in yourself to be protected by the Most High. Because it's not all about a blessing. It's all about protection. It's not all about a blessing. It's not all about $1,000 seed. It's about protection. Who are you going to be protected by? Satan can't protect you. Buddha can't protect you. Allah cannot protect you. Being an atheist or being an Egyptologist, you know what I'm saying? Being, you know what I'm saying, the Nation of Islam, all that other crap, that can't do nothing for you. Have it did anything for you? All of you blacks, Latinos, you're in these different sectors of religions. Have it did anything for you? Have it educated you? Did you learn anything worthwhile? Nothing. Nothing at all. Go ahead.
Okay. We're in the book of Revelations, chapter 9, verse 12.
Revelations, chapter 9, verse 12. The book of Revelations, chapter 9, verse 12.
One woe is past.
Hear that? We already know what that one woe is. Woe means destruction now, people. Woe means destruction. Go ahead.
And behold, there comes 2 woes more hereafter.
Hear that? World War One, World War II, and we are approaching World War III. Getting to get up. They getting to get up. And a lot of people is so distracted by the elements that they pushing on you in this earth that you are going to miss the boat. You're going to miss the boat, and then when it's crept up on you, you are going to not have a paddle to row your boat. And you're going to be asking and looking for a paddle, and ain't nobody giving you a paddle. Because while the truth was relevant in your ear, you did not hear. So therefore, you're going to drizzle. Go ahead.
And we're going into the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Go ahead.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
This is how we are to conduct ourselves. See, when you see these things that is coming upon the earth, these different plagues, you know what I'm saying? The whole skies from the east, from the top to the bottom of the map of the East Coast. When you see these things, you should not be afraid, but you should be of an understanding mind to understanding what times you're in. That's what you should be. An understanding mind to know the times that you're in. Because if you know the times that you're in, then you will know exactly what this means when you see things like a forest fire in Canada and the smoke has blanketed the whole East Coast. You would know what that means. You would know who's behind it. If you're wise, you would know who's behind it. You would know that the things that they tell you it is on the news, is it really what they say it is on the news? And how can they just flick it on and then flick it off at the flick of a light switch? Because that's what they just did. They started it, I think it was Monday or Sunday. They flicked the light switch on. They said, look, it's a thick cloud. Then, today, they flicked the light switch off. Everything's going to be cleared up this weekend. We're going to have fun. The same way they flicked on the light switch and flicked it off during the pandemic days. They flicked it on. Oh, mask up, quarantine, da-da. Then they flicked it off. Now you don't hear nothing else about it. They labeled it an endemic now.